What's going on, blurs, nerds, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, the sensei of the syndicate, here with another episode of With the BS. And I'm not here by myself again. We are talking with not the right hand, but the left hand, the fist of fury. KB, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I keep saying it, but I love that intro. Like the bass, the logo, like good job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was nice coming up to it. Like I heard the song and I was like, I have to put that on there. So it's somebody from, I forget his name, but he did a mix of the All Might song from My Hero Academia, and so I was like, I have to have that. So went ahead and made some things happen, and now that's how it is. So but how have you been since yesterday?
Pretty good. I got my meal prep done last night, so I actually made my food today, and it turned out fantastic.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What up, Tots?
What's good, Tots?
So today we're talking about something. Last week we talked about all the Marvel movies, whether they were meh, whether they were GOAT status, whether or not they were good, great, all that. So it's only right that we go ahead and do it for the series as well. So I went ahead and put together my handy dandy tier system again, and we're just gonna do that for the movies or that part, not the movies but the series.
Yeah.
So have you seen all of them?
Yes, except for Miss Marvel. I've seen most of it. I just haven't finished it yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So overall, how did you feel about the series? Did you feel like there were certain ones that could have been movies rather than series that you'd have thought that they would have had?
Actually, no. I feel like with each series, they picked a perfect model to do this with, because I don't think any of these characters could have carried, with the exception of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't think any of these characters, with the way that they were telling these particular stories, could have actually carried a movie.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think Moon Knight could have definitely been just a movie. Like I think there are certain parts that, where rather than like making it longer, you know what I mean, they could have had it still been condensed and still got the kind of same feeling that you got for me.
I feel like Moon Knight in and of himself and how his stories run does not serve well as a film.
Okay.
So that's more where I'm going, like with the characters that they chose, which is how I felt about Black Widow, for instance. I understand why they gave Black Widow a film. I get it. However, she never should have gotten a full-on movie like this. It should have been a series. And it should have been a series with a different story, in my opinion, where you give more info on her background and how we got to this point, like the actual Widow's program and things like that.
Yeah.
The series would have been fire. But instead you gave us a movie because, you're trying to capitalize. You're trying to show that you take the women in the MCU just as seriously as the men. She's one of the first set of the Avengers, so if everybody else got their film, she should get a film. Like, I get it, but her story her story doesn't carry enough weight in Marvel's history for a film to really be good.
So I have a question. So to me, like, okay, so like when I watched the Infinity War, and when like Black Widow, and who else was there? Black Widow, Okoye, and Scarlet Witch came together, it felt natural. Like, you know what I mean? But the one in Endgame felt like it was pandering.
Exactly.
And so I feel like with the Black Widow movie, it was kind of more pandering. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't shit, but it just, like you said, it didn't feel like the same quality. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
And to that end, I think this was a bit of a mismanage on the timeline and
Yeah.
how they gave us the film. Because if you think about it, the Black Widow film felt more like it was supposed to be a prequel, even though the information they gave us wasn't a prequel. It
Hmm.
felt like it was supposed to be a prequel. It felt like it should have been in line with the first Thor, the first Iron Man, the first Captain America. Like it felt like that. Kind of how I felt about Captain Marvel. Like it's not
Hmm.
a fantastic film, but as a first entry to the character point, it's good.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt Black Widow should have been. Like how they kind of aimed in my and it just
Yeah.
didn't hit right.
I think the timing made it weird. You know what I mean? Because we knew, like, she's gonna make it to past this part, but we also know that she's not gonna make it past any other part after this. You know what I mean? But
Right.
um, that's what I sometimes I I feel like certain, like, companies do stuff to pander versus it actually just being a genuine, like, person of color or minority or story of someone. You know what I mean? It just feels like they just go ahead and say, okay, we need this kind of character to check off a box,
Yep.
and that's where it becomes disingenuous, and that's where low key I feel like disrespected. You know what I mean? Because then after that, you're just like, we understand what you're doing, or at least it seems like that, but then sometimes it doesn't show up that way. So
Right.
that's where I was just like with Black Widow, because like I understand she needed to get her payday, you know what I mean, and I'm all for that. But I'm also to a point where it was like, come on now, like if you wanted to do right by her, you would have gave her a movie in phase 1, 2, not in the end of phase 3, or your fate or starting phase 4, excuse me. So that's where it was kind of sucky.
Right. And then like I get it because it's supposed to be the introduction for two characters that we need for the Thunderbolts,
Hmm.
but it could have been handled better.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, it's a solid film, but I wasn't feeling it that much. I love Yelena though. So I because of that, like I didn't
Hmm.
rank it lower, but you know.
I got you. I got you.
And
All right.
then with the shows, like that's how I'm feeling. Like each of those characters in a first run out introduction, I think that putting them in shows was perfect because
Yeah.
now when you put them in films, they hopefully are not trying to carry films on their own. And I don't think any of those characters, the actors are strong enough. The characters are not strong enough to warrant a film to me.
I got you. So, all right. Well, let's we done talked about Marvel movies. Let's go ahead and talk about these series real quick.
That's right.
So, um, we'll start with Scarlet Witch first. How did you feel about that one?
So for me, WandaVision is going GOAT.
Okay.
And it's going here because of the actual way they put this show together. Like the aesthetic, the premise with the sitcoms, like the actual puzzle pieces and how they link the story together.
Hmm.
This to me was fantastic storytelling. Even pacing on this was actually very good. Like the first two episodes were kind of slow, which
I was
that's
going.
because
I was going to
yeah,
check you on that.
they
I
were
was.
putting they were putting the first two together so that you could see what was happening for setup. But once you got to episode 3, everything was on track and the pacing to me was fantastic.
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say good. Because like I thought that it was, like you said, that pacing for the first 2 or 2.5 episodes kind of had me thrown, because I was just like, what the hell am I watching, you know what I'm saying? But after that point, when you started to get stuff pieced together, it definitely came together as a good show. um you know it gave you more insight into what was going on. Shout out to faux Quicksilver, because like then after that I was like, oh, Quicksilver, they're bringing back mutants, and then after that they didn't. So they
You find out he's
definitely,
a whole like
yeah,
fake.
you set the whole internet on fire, because everybody was like, oh my god, it's happening, they're bringing in the mutants, and then at that they're like,
And
so.
I thought that was hilarious. So
Mhm.
they faked everybody out, and I was very happy about it.
Okay. So so we will I'm gonna go by your ratings today since it's just me and you right now. So we'll see. So you got it as GOAT. What about what if?
What if was kind of, it wasn't meh, but it wasn't like, it's right between meh and okay for me.
Hmm.
Um, and this has more to do with just like some of the stories are really good, and it's like it was inconsistent with how the stories feel. Like some of them were like really good, and then other ones
Hmm.
I was just kind of like, did I need this story? I don't think I needed this story.
What was your favorite story on what if?
Mm, the Doctor Strange one,
Okay.
I really like that one. There was a lot of pain in that.
I feel you. I really liked well, and this was it's just me. I really like the T'Challa story. You know what I mean? Like it still gave me vibes of him as a as somebody that didn't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? Like he had the Peter Quill kind of feel to it. So like rather than T'Challa being just, stern and serious most of the time, like it gave me that I was happy to see him smile, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? That the burden of being king was kind of off his shoulders. So therefore he was able to kind of do that. Plus he was smooth and he was sociable. He was nice. You know what I mean?
That one hurt because I knew it was the last time we were gonna hear his voice in something,
Yeah,
and I was just like, this is sad. Like even if it's not a sad episode, this is sad, and I'm sad. But it was a very good
exactly.
episode. I hated the
Yeah.
one with Killmonger.
Huh? You
I
hated the
hated
one
the
with
one
Killmonger?
with Killmonger. Yeah, I hated that one.
Yeah, see, so with me, like I get it, you know what I mean? But and I think Michael B. Jordan is really, really good as an actor, and I think that they're just trying to throw him into certain things. You know what I mean? But like, if he's gonna die, and then you're gonna keep him dead, keep him dead. But don't try to bring the other universes. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about it. Because like after a while, it's just like, okay, we get it, bro. Like, oh, like he's really good as an actor, and he's hot as an actor right now. So you can try to still get him in where you can. Um, yeah, just like either bring him back for real, or don't bring him back at all. Don't halfway. Don't just stick your toe in.
Don't spirit realm him.
Yeah, yeah, don't do that shit. So, but I felt like I felt like mm, I'm stuck between okay and mad too, because like there were certain things that were really really good, certain things that I really wanted to see how other stories would go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After they did that, before they kind of brought everybody together. Um, what was your least favorite story? The Killmonger one?
No, I think my least favorite is a toss up between like Thor and
Mm-hmm.
like trying to clean up his mess,
Mm-hmm.
and the one with Captain Britain, I guess is what they were calling her, where Peggy
Yep.
was. I just didn't like that story. I wanted to like it, and I didn't.
uh, yeah. I think that Thor one was pretty trash, and then there was the one with everybody dying.
The zombie apocalypse one.
No, no, no. The one where like all the Avengers were dying because I think it was like Ant-Man that was killing them. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I swear there was an episode like that. What if?
Did I miss one?
All right, let's look. So there was one where like everybody was nope, not the one he lost, not the one if Killmonger. Uh-uh. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? And so it was It was yeah, that was the name of it.
Wasn't it? That was the zombie one though, wasn't it?
No, there was a zombie one too. That one was named What If Zombies.
Okay. Because wasn't there one where Clint actually dies and Natasha lives? Is
Yeah,
it
I
that
think
one?
yeah, that one. Where they were like, "Oh yeah, what happened to, cuz they were just randomly dying." You know what I mean?
I legit don't remember that episode.
It was at the very end that you found out that it was Ant-Man because like somebody had gone into, I don't remember how it happened, but he was mad because either his wife or his daughter died and he blamed Shield. And so then after that he was just taking everybody else out.
Because I remember the one where Ultron basically won.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to rewatch. I don't remember that, but
Let's
apparently
see.
it's a bad episode. I don't know if I want to watch it now, but
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
well, that was the one that got me. I was just like, okay. So so what are we gonna do? We got to put it between.
Meh.
Okay, nah. Okay, what about Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
This one is hard for me because it's between good and goat for me.
All right.
I really enjoyed the way that they handled being black.
Yes.
I really, really, I know a lot of people didn't, and to that I say, because like driving home the point, especially for Bucky to realize that, hey, I can't really sympathize, but I can empathize. Like, or I might be saying that backwards, but to be like, I don't get it, but I hear you. And to be like, yeah, me and Steve, we messed that up. That's our bad. I really enjoyed that show.
And then you got to think about like the Dora Milaje came. That was dope.
I want to do a countdown for me personally, like the 5 coldest lines in the MCU, because that Dora Milaje line has got to be either like 3 or 4 for me. Where he was like, the Dora Milaje don't even have jurisdiction here. And was it AL that was talking to him?
I think so.
And she was like, the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever they find themselves to be. Yes, ma'am.
I'd have been like, listen, needless to say, I don't need to say nothing else. And then what was it? Kurt Russell's son, whatever his name is, Wyatt Russell. That's how I know it because it's my name. And he was just like, oh, I think I can take him. And then after that, he proceeded to get his ass whooped. And then
looking real good, John.
yeah. And then it was even funnier because because Falcon was like, we got to get in there and help him. Bucky was like, help who? Help what? Now he started this. He gonna catch this ass whooping by himself.
Yeah. Bucky was like, I'm not doing that.
For what? So no, I definitely, that fight scene. Would you have taken the super soldier serum? And then would you be a good guy or would you be a villain?
I'm a villain. I'm absolutely a villain. Because I tell people this and they think that I'm kidding. The first time that I go outside and somebody steps on my J's, I'm putting you through the bank. Cause why are you stepping? No. I have too much aggression and too much irritation. I would be nothing less than a villain.
Okay. Well, we're gonna keep that super soldier serum away from you.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't take it anyway. I don't like needles.
I would have taken it.
Like if you put it in a pill, maybe. But if I gotta stick myself, nah.
I would have probably taken it. I think I would have been a hero.
And I feel like it'll burn too. Like, there's some stuff when I was doing chemo that I had to take and it burned. No, absolutely not.
It was like, no, thank you.
And it burn all the way through your nervous system. No, no.
All right. So we got to put it in either goat or good.
Wherever you would put it, we're gonna go with your vote on this one because I'm really torn between. The only thing I think that could have been better was how they handled like the power broker. I feel like that could have been handled better, but it also wasn't unexpected.
Yeah. The power broker was something different, but it wasn't different.
Right.
You know, I heard that they're going to like redline that so that the power broker is no longer the power broker anymore, and she's just going to go back to being like a shield agent.
So I feel as though if you don't already went through the trouble to bring the power broker into this the way that you did, right? And she has finagled her way into shield and getting everything clear and ready to go. Let her destroy them from the inside out. Let her be evil. Like, let us have this. There's no reason to redline that.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in the goat status because that was my goat for this group.
Okay.
So, and it was a bomb ass fight when they were like trying to get the shield up off of him, and he was not having any of that shit. He was like, "I'm going to fight each and every one of y'all." He was really crazy. He decided he was gonna punch people. He was like, y'all took my shield. Okay, I'm gonna make another one.
I want to talk about that scene. We got to finish what we're doing, but we're gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that.
Oh, we got time.
Okay, let's do it then. There was a discourse going around with Wakanda Forever in which there was the parallel made of how Black people are forever turning the other cheek and how we always let everybody else basically walk all over us. And they were like, look at what happened in Wakanda Forever. Look at Shuri. She had Namor down. And instead of doing what she should have done and avenging her mom and killing this dude, we took the peaceful route yet again. And that's just one more way. And I'm listening to this dude talk, and I was like, tell me you don't understand strategy without telling me you don't understand strategy. And the reason that I say that is look at what happened when John killed old boy.
Mm-hmm.
He was going for Carly. He didn't realize at the time that Carly was the one that killed his man.
Yes.
And so he killed this dude in front of the world with all those cameras and everything. And it cost him everything. He lost his shield. He lost his rank. He got stripped of everything. And basically with the super soldier serum running through his veins, it made him crazy. And I was like, so quick consequence of what would have happened. But also, like, I'm tired of militant Black people who are militant only in mindset and not in fundamentals. Because had Shuri killed him, that would have led to the fall of Wakanda. Because, as M'Baku and several other characters said, you'd be looking at potentially thousands of years of war with the Taliban.
Yeah.
Even if you don't go that far, you're still looking at like a 5-year war.
Not only that, but then after that, you would have had the whole situation about they were saying like if you kill him, you make him a martyr. So if you make him a martyr, like you said, those are wars that are really, really heavy that but you don't really get out of.
It's not just that though. The other thing that was stated multiple times in this film, Wakanda has no allies. And it does not matter how powerful your nation is if your nation is all alone. You cannot fight a war on multiple fronts by yourself. So you would have had a war with the Talokans, and you would have had war with the rest of the world because they're trying to invade you and steal your resources. You would have doomed your entire country off of this action. And I get it. if you're speaking solely from anger and hurt,
Mm-hmm.
fillet that man like a fish. But if you honestly care about your people, what she did is the correct move. Because ally, especially political ally, does not necessarily mean friendly.
Yeah,
It simply means
I
you
got your
have
back.
an accord.
I got your back. If they mess with
You have
you,
a
they mess with
common
me.
enemy.
Yeah, if they mess with you, they mess with us. So,
Right. And not necessarily the long way, like we good. No, I
mm,
still hate you.
mm-mm.
But I need you. You need me. Let's do what we need to do. We'll come back to you.
Yeah,
We went
we'll
round
settle
my
this.
once.
We'll settle this afterwards. But
Right.
right now,
And the other side of the coin is people have to remember. She said yield or I kill you. Not I can't do. She didn't pull a T'Challa like, oh, I can't do this. I gotta find. She said either yield or I'ma kill you. Pick one.
Pick a hand.
Also, Comic Shuri is a menace because she almost wiped out Atlantis. So
yeah. All right. So you said that you've seen a couple. Well, what did you like from when you saw what you saw from this Marvel, or what did you not like?
it wasn't really that I didn't like anything. It's a solid show. I would put it at good.
Okay.
I liked getting to see it from like a youthful standpoint. I really liked that aspect of it. I like the way she's having to learn her lessons.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, you wanted these powers and you thought this was gonna be sweet. Nah.
You got to work on some stuff.
Right.
So this for me, like there was a couple of shows that to me just felt like they weren't for me, but that was okay. Like I could appreciate like, the drama of okay, you know what I mean? Like just having it was like a teen drama in certain situations with mixed in with that. And to me, I was cool with it because I didn't mind watching it. And there was other parts of it that were really good. Like being able to go back in time or go back to see other things. That was really cool. But like as far as that's concerned, it was to me it was okay. But you know what I mean? Like I also understand that it wasn't meant for me. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it was more for empowerment and being able to show not only because she was like the first young woman to actually do that because like there's a difference between like Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel and things like that. You know what I mean? Because
Those are all adults.
yeah, she's a teenager, so therefore it made it a little bit like different. It's just like say for instance when I maybe see Miles Morales or you know what I mean or Static Shock. So I get that part. So I'm cool with seeing that and seeing it from a different point of view, knowing that it's not meant for me.
Yeah.
So what about Moon Knight?
Moon Knight for me is goated. I loved Moon Knight, but I'm gonna admit to bias here. Moon Knight is one of my favorite, like not common characters. I love Moon Knight. All the personalities are hilarious to me.
I thought the personalities were hilarious. I thought when you get to see the trauma and how like and it was a mind fuck too because you didn't know who was the main personality and you were trying to be you were like oh well it's this guy that's the main personality no oh no maybe it's this guy that's the main personality who is this other guy that keeps coming in here and just wrecking shop so like you don't know anything that's going on and I like the fact that you see how people deal with stress and trauma in their own ways and yeah, it was really really good. What was it? When the girl
gods.
Huh?
I liked seeing the other gods.
I did too. I didn't necessarily care for when they became Megazords and started fighting on the pyramid.
Yeah, that was weird.
You know what I mean? But hey, if that's what they want to do, if they like it, I love it. But I did like the drama. Ethan Hawke was really, really good at being manipulative and just doing his own thing. So we'll go ahead and put it in the GOAT category. What about Hawkeye?
Hawkeye was okay.
I agree.
It wasn't. It's almost meh, but not quite.
See,
But
I was gonna say it's almost good, but like so, to me, it feels like I got to see more Hawkeye, which I thought was great. I also like the fact that he has like a smug attitude and he's a smartass. So it was cool. I enjoyed that part of it. But and then I like the dynamic with him and Kate Bishop, and then trying to find out that, and then they tied in all the Christmas stuff and all that good stuff. So it was really good. It was good. I thought it was okay to good. It wasn't great.
I would put it okay, man. But with that, I wasn't sold on the enjoyment of the story. It really felt like the whole point of this literally was just to introduce Kate, and Hawkeye just happened to be there. I did like the parallels of the new Hawkeye and Black Widow because it gave me more of what I wish we had gotten with Clint and Natasha.
Yes.
So it's like you introduced Clint and Natasha when we had all of these other characters, and people genuinely did want more of these two characters. And because we can't get that, we're getting this, which I'm okay with. So I need more interactions between the two of them. Like
I also liked it because it introduced Echo and Kingpin. And I was super excited because I was like, that's the same Kingpin from the one in the next. Yeah, so I had a little moment there. And so I thought it was really, really, I thought it brought a whole lot of things together. Like, to me, I felt like some of these series were things to bring stuff together so that they could be able to build movies later on. And like I think it was Kevin Feige said, Jeremy was saying yesterday that they're going to be building quality over quantity, which is good, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of that stuff they just had to reset because of the fact that they had so much stuff that was going on at the end of phase 3 with Endgame and everything like that. Everybody was on like that adrenaline rush. They was like, oh my God, we got to have this. We had that. We got to do this. And now you have to kind of rebuild everything and kind of pick up the pieces. And nobody wants to pick up the pieces after you've played with Legos and Legos are all over the floor.
Right. And I like that he said it. I don't like the fact that there are some people who are taking that as to say that their bashing of the movies and the things were correct. Because here's the thing, like, for every argument like Jeremy's, which is valid, which his issue has been more with the stories themselves and not the character, a lot of folks are taking issues with the characters because they can't see themselves in some of these characters. You know, you could identify with Thor and with Cap and with, Tony, but you can't identify with Kate. You can't identify with Yelena. You can't identify with Jennifer Walters because these are not your experience in life. And I find it interesting where women don't necessarily have an issue watching male-fronted action movies and things and the like because we can still see ourselves, some of our qualities in these films. So we really don't have an issue with watching them. When it comes to, like, for instance, Black people can watch almost any type of movie, right? And we can enjoy these movies because we have had to learn how to see outside of skin tone. We have had to learn how to see ourselves in these other things. We've had to swallow that our whole lives. But now that the shoe is on the other foot, it's harder. Because yes, like as a Black man, you have had to learn to see yourself in men who don't look like you. But because there haven't been a whole lot of women-led movies, you haven't necessarily had to see your qualities in a woman. You haven't
Yeah.
had to fit through that and find a way to identify with that. So it's harder.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's to a point where like you said, if some people, and it's even worse for maybe people that haven't had to worry about race or then gender. So now they're just like, "Oh, you mean I got to do this? This is not what I'm used to."
Right.
And
And now they're
changing,
feeling attacked.
yes. Um because I think sometimes people don't realize that they are not the only ones that are reading comic books, or not the only ones that appreciate the artistic side of these things. So it becomes a situation of like, oh, well, we need to do, it's not fair because it doesn't portray what was going on. Or then they'll try to nitpick me like, well, and this is the one thing I hate is when people are like, well, it's not the fact that they're, you know, what was it, that Namor was Mexican. It was because it's not, to the story of, or true to the comics. As long, if Sue Storm comes in, he's got to try to get Sue Storm. That's the only thing that, and he has to be like an asshole. That's the only thing that I've always known about Namor. And he comes from and he had chicken wings on his ankles, and he had to come out with a Speedo. He did all those things. No Sue Storm, so he didn't have to come and try to holler at her. But when Sue Storm comes through, he better be like, "Hey, yo, Sue, leave Mr. Flex and come chill with the real one."
Not Mr. Flex.
Yeah, leave Mr. Flex and come get with a real one. That's all I want him to do. He over here giving you trinkets. You see, I own 70% of the world. All this water stuff, that's me.
And I can still give you trinkets. You see this sea glass? You see these shells?
You don't see these diamonds that they drop down here? All of that's me. Just saying. All he can do is stretch.
That is important.
I'm not gonna do this with you.
Stretching is good for your health.
Yeah. Okay.
Yoga.
There we go. Well, I think
Mine's in the gutter.
Yeah. I think you can stretch and do yoga too. But anyway, the next one was Loki.
Loki was good.
Okay.
It had moments where I would have put it higher up if it was more consistent. Like, his name was not He Who Remains, was it? Was that his name?
Yes.
Okay. His title.
He Who Remains.
Yeah. Like, getting He Who Remains, knowing that means you're getting Kang the Conqueror. I love it. The Loki loving the female version of him, that was weird. I didn't like it.
I was going to say the same thing.
I did not like the incest.
Well, I don't think it's incest. I think it's playing with yourself.
Self-cest. I didn't like the self-cest.
Yeah, I think it was playing with yourself. But I get it. You know what I mean? He had to find himself and learn to love himself and all that good stuff.
It's basically masturbation. I don't like it.
Yeah, it was public masturbation.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he was doing well. No, I was gonna say he's just doing him, but no, that's not usually how that rolls.
Literally.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Touching himself almost destroyed the whole multiverse.
Right. Like, I feel like there's a lesson in this for kids and abstinence or something. I don't know.
Don't touch yourself. That's the lesson.
Christian values. Touch yourself and you'll go blind. Touch yourself and delete the whole timeline.
Exactly. Touch yourself and the whole world may end.
Right. Yeah. Loki was good. Some of it, like, I don't know. I feel like with the characters that they gave, I didn't really care about anything that was happening in Loki until the end. Like I watched it and it was good, but I didn't really I wasn't invested in caring about any of the characters. None of the characters were really like I liked it, except for Gator Loki. He was cute.
Against who was it?
The Gator Loki.
Okay,
He was cute. I cared about him, but with the rest of it, I was like, y'all could all die and I would be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, me personally, I was just like, it's cool. Like I understood that there was, and I like the part where they had like the multiple Lokis, to be able to try to, go ahead and find himself, and like it was fun with him fighting amongst themselves, cutting his own parts off, and that was great. And then I like the fact that they even had like old school Loki as well, so I thought that was really cool also. So they had some really nice parts to it. I just wanted to be able to, like, no, their timing wasn't bad. I think so when the trailer came out, and I just think I need to kind of think about my expectations about this. When the trailer came out, I thought that we were going to see way more Lokis rather than just like those 1 or 2 episodes. But after that, like, it was still a really good storyline though.
Yeah.
So I just need to temper my expectations next time, because I think that was the part that got me frustrated with Doctor Strange too, because I was like, here I'm thinking that we're going to go to all these universes and we're going to do all this, and then after that, we did go to like 4 universes, but it was like we dabbled in them.
I feel like these kind of things are like, what we want isn't necessarily unreasonable, but when you look at how long the movie would be if we got what we wanted, not everybody was going to sit there and watch that.
That's true. You bring up valid points.
Like,
okay, so we got the last one, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk to me was good. It was exactly what I expected it to be. It was silly. It poked fun at itself. It poked fun at us. If you've ever read She-Hulk comic, like, you knew exactly what you were in for.
Excuse me.
And I enjoyed myself. I definitely was not expecting it to be absolutely fantastic, and it wasn't, but it was definitely good.
I thought it was okay. Like I said, like, it felt like you said, it poked fun of itself. So I really thought that was cool. I was happy to see Daredevil. I was happy to, like, I think sometimes. So one part that I didn't have a problem with, but some people did, was when they were talking about how she can control her anger better than Bruce, and then I was just like, well, hey, like, everybody's experiences and things like that. Just like I think if Hulk was black, he'd be able to control himself a little bit better too, because there's a lot of stuff that we want to just snap off on, but we can't.
Here's my thing. I wish people understood that words have a defined meaning. Words don't mean what you want them to mean. They don't mean what you think they mean. They have an established definition.
Mm-hmm.
So when she says the difference between me and you is that I am always having to control my anger, I heard a lot of men saying she was belittling Bruce and downplaying his traumas. It's not what she said. She never said your experience doesn't matter. She never said your experience doesn't count for anything. All she said was that my experience with life gave me a control over this that yours did not give you.
That's true.
And then flash forward to where the guys put her business out there for her parents and her business partners and everyone to see, and she does in fact lose her temper. And for all those men, where's your control now? Where is your control now? You can have control and still have those outbursts. That does happen.
I mean, even if she did lose control, like after a certain amount of time and a certain amount of like stress that gets put on you, like, it's within reason. Like if if before I was married, like, somebody shows my mama, hey, this is what you was doing. This is what your, son was doing here. This is what he was out here. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a good look. I wouldn't be happy that people were able to view into my life, especially when like the hurt of being played too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a lot to have that go on. So I'd be mad too. So that's that's well within reason. But I think sometimes people just look for reasons to fight, looks for reasons to be upset or to say, aha, this isn't the same thing. Um I I don't know if I don't know if I had the wrong expectation going into She-Hulk, but it wasn't necessarily that I just didn't like it. I just wanted to see kind of where it was going, and it was just more of a lifestyle story. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that may just be where like I didn't read into what the story was going to be like or what the series was going to be like, but like it was still like, oh, okay, cool. Well, this is how they decide to go about it. That's fine. Like, um, I was sad that we didn't get to see more Hulk smash. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's nice to see that, but I mean, it wasn't like, oh my god, this effing sucks. I didn't feel like it was like Thor: Love and Thunder. So I mean,
Did you know that that is up for some kind of awards?
yeah, yeah.
How?
I don't know.
How? I need an explanation for this.
I
Somebody,
don't know.
somebody explain this to me. I don't think we have enough viewers in the comments right now, but if y'all watch this later, like after the fact, give us comment. Explain this to me. Make it make
Mm,
sense. That
I,
movie garbage.
I don't know. I
I'm offended.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth is a very nice person, um, and well, from what he shows in the movies, but like even he said that he wanted to change kind of the way that the story was moving or the way that the character was moving, because like I think Prime Thor, the Thor that I really appreciate, is the Thor um that was like Infinity War Thor. You know what I mean? Like now, mind you, Thor hasn't Thor has not always been like the person with a whole lot of like meat on the bone. You know what I mean? Like there's not that whole lot of layers to him at first. So like he likes to fight. He's not very smart. You know what I mean? Like now it doesn't mean that he doesn't have feelings, but I just feel like we just hey, I like
They,
the fact that I like the fact there was a fat Thor.
they turned Thor into a joke, and
Yeah.
that's what I didn't like. Um, and I will also be like the first to admit I'm not a Thor fan. This is both comics, like I just don't care for Thor. But I can also acknowledge that like I feel like Thor Ragnarok wasn't terrible.
No.
He was a little goofy and a little silly there, but he wasn't hopeless like he was later. And yeah, Infinity War Thor is gonna be my favorite. And kind of like towards the end of Endgame, where he gets the hammer and they're getting ready to do like the final fight type deal. I
Yeah.
like the seriousness that he had then, because him being in the chair snoring with the shades and the flannel, I didn't like that. But
Yeah, and I get it. But yeah, like you said, after a while with that Thor, it was in game Thor at the end where he was just like, hey, this is a setup, right? They're like, yeah, but I don't really care. And they're like, okay, as long as we both know, let's go.
right.
Like that's all it is. You know what I mean? That's the one where like, and I understand that he doesn't necessarily have the makings of a king. And I get that. Leadership comes in different forms and fashions. And maybe he's not meant to lead on a day-to-day basis. But, he can be able to do something to be a leader to his people where he's not just not there. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm cool with King Valkyrie.
I know I'm not
I can ride. I don't want to phrase that way. I am good with Valkyrie.
Valkyrie is great. Like that's not what I'm saying. So like if they had gone a different way with it, like it'd have been totally cool too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Hollywood gets into a certain point where they're just like, okay, we like these couple of actors. So Chris Hemsworth has been really, really big, and then Tessa Thompson, they did like 4 or 5 movies like back to back together. Like so they've been really cool, and Tessa is cool as a fan. And I love her personality where she's like, listen, I don't care one way or the other, but like somebody needs to be able to lead, and you can't just be stupid over here. Like
right.
you're not gonna you're not gonna make us all look bad.
Okay.
So like that would have been, and then they got rid of old buddy. I forget his name now. Hemdahl.
Oh, yeah. He been wanted out though.
Yeah.
He was sick of the shit.
Because they never really gave him a good position. You know what I also was thinking about? Now this is completely done. So let me finish this part. So what do you want to put?
I would put it either okay or good.
All right. I'm gonna go okay.
Okay.
So I wanted to just bring up this one other thing. I'm gonna stop that screen stuff. So they were talking about The Rock and how like Black Adam may not have made as much money as what he was quoting it was going to make. You know what I mean? Like shaking the whole DC universe. They're gonna keep messing around, and I feel like if they don't do right by him, he's gonna take his star power to Marvel, and he's just gonna be an actor, but he's gonna have the promotion to go along with it, and then they give him some crazy role from there.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't want this to happen. If Marvel is serious about quantity, like quality over quantity, casting The Rock would be a terrible idea. He is not a good actor.
What? The Rock isn't a good actor?
No. And I'm gonna stand on this. You would have to give him someone like very, very specific that we don't actually care about. Because if you give him a bigger name, why would you do this? This would be similar to casting Ryan Reynolds as someone other than Deadpool. Like you just don't do that. And just no, I don't care about your star power. Stay away from my stuff. Stay away from my happiness.
I'm trying to think, who would he?
Nobody.
I'm gonna find somebody.
Rhino. Just big and running stuff over. Rhino.
I was gonna say, give him Ben Grimm.
No, I like Ben.
Well, Ben.
No.
No.
Okay. Because Ben really is like a heart and soul type character.
You're right.
That would require an actor. So no. The Rock's an action star.
Yeah, he's got to be something like. I'm trying to go through people. Not really looking good for him.
No.
Nope. Well, it'd be bad for The Rock. Well, so I think because DC, I got a bone to pick with DC as well. Because DC, they canceled Michael Keaton's new rebooted the project that he was going to have, and it turned out it was going to be an adaptation of Batman Beyond. I'm not happy about that at all.
You know what? I wasn't happy about it when I heard the cancellation.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that James Gunn, however, is going to have a hand in their projects going forward alleviates that unhappiness just a bit. Because I feel as though if they let him do his job, the stories that we will get should honestly be phenomenal. Um, and that's not to say like he's gonna have his hand in every single thing, directing everything, because I don't think that should be the case either. Like he's good, but there's a such thing as overload and burnout.
Well,
Um,
he's supposed to be like the Kevin Feige,
right,
uh, and so that'd be cool.
exactly. So I feel like what we're going to see should be like honest to God, good stories coming out of DC, and it's been a minute.
You, I know what role you want Rock to play.
What?
Black Bolt. So then
Only
after
if
that,
you want to killing him again.
oh, oh no, I was gonna say because he wasn't gonna be talking.
Right, but I don't want to see him just standing there.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Like,
So yeah, I don't. So I understand that they have a lot of stuff that they're trying to revamp and trying to bring together because they have a lot of stuff that you know they they're trying to clean up. You know what I mean? Because there was too many cooks in the kitchen. Um, but I just want it just hurts my feelings a little bit because then after that I was like, man, they would have got my old Batman because Michael Keaton's old as shit, and so he could definitely play old man Batman, old
what?
man Bruce Wayne. But now he can't play that anymore. You know what I mean? And maybe they'll just redo it.
I was saying,
But
and we might still get it. Like, there's
yeah,
still that possibility, and it might just be that they scrapped what they had and it's about to be reworked and retooled.
maybe.
Like, we could honestly see a lot of those projects that were canceled come back.
Okay. Well, maybe. I was looking through all of I was looking through like there was 100 famous Marvel people. I don't think The Rock fits in any of them.
I don't know.
Um,
Biggest shit running into stuff.
mm, maybe not. Yeah, maybe.
That's it. That's it. Keep his ass out of there. There's no reason for it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's you bring up a point then. I don't know what else to put him in because he doesn't fit into anything else. Um so um any final thoughts on Marvel? Anything or
What
any other thoughts?
is do you have like a project that you're really excited to see coming out?
Um not particularly. Like I'm almost like kind of at the burnout part of Marvel. You know what I mean? I think they just need to kind of um kind of build a little bit more because like you said, it's been quantity over quality. And so I know for a while it's been like you only had to wait a month before a new Marvel project came out. Um, I was really excited to see Wakanda Forever. But now that that's out, like I've seen it, I don't have anything that I'm just like chomping at the bit to see. What about you?
I am now more excited for Ironheart than I was previously. Um,
Hmm.
Granted, we didn't get a ton of her,
Hmm.
but we got enough of Dominique Thorne for me to be like, okay, I'm invested, and I want to see what we're gonna get with Riri Williams, and I want to see what story we're gonna get with Riri. Like, I'm excited to see that now. I'm still excited for the Thunderbolts just because there's so much moving in that I'm very curious as to how this story is going to tie together. And I want to know, like, are we gonna get, what's Bucky's involvement in this? Because he's really not a part of that. So how does he factor into this? Um, I really want to get to a conclusion with Valentina. I'm sick of her shit,
Yeah.
and I want an end to her. I feel like that's not going to happen in the Thunderbolts, but I really need them to get to this conclusion with her.
Facts. Uh yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I don't think There's not anything that I'm like super like. I want to see what happens with Fantastic Four. Like I know they're supposed to be trying to do that. Um, I take that back. I'm excited about the new Spider-Man trailer that came out earlier today or yesterday.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, I'm excited about that. Um, because they always give me enough, Spider Verse, multiverse stuff that I'm like cool. You know what I mean? I got 6 of them last time. Now we're going to the world where all the spiders are. So I think I'm gonna get a shit ton of those, and I'm excited about that.
I'm excited to see the growth of Miles. He
Me
looks
too.
so much more mature in this trailer than he was.
Hmm.
Like he looks way more settled into who he is,
Hmm.
and I'm very excited to see this story play out.
KB, I forgot to show you this. This is a shirt that I have for Loki because we talked about it, and so I thought this was really really cool. It's all in that Scott Pilgrim
That's
versus the
cute.
Universe.
That's very cute. I like that.
I'm excited to see how Kang. I take that back. Ant-Man is something I'm excited about too because it comes out like on my birthday, and I want to see what happens to. Yeah, I want to see this version of the Kang.
So I was talking about this with someone because you know my stance on it. I've been saying,
You want
unfortunately for all of the fans, I think Ant-Man needs to catch this L. But somebody said that it may not happen in this movie because we're still not necessarily getting Kang the Conqueror as he is. We might still be getting like just another variant of Kang. So
I'm all right.
we might see another variant first, and then Kang the Conqueror actually show up after the fact, which means we'll get somebody dying in a different movie. But I'm like, it still has to be Ant-Man because there's nobody left to kill
Facts. Cool.
unless he kills the Guardians.
Oh no, he can't kill the Guardians.
Look, I'm taking a wager. I think they all die in the third one.
Man, Loki, like I'm gonna tell you this because there's only one other person like just here with us. So like Guardians of the Galaxy at the very end, I boo-hoo every time. Like I tried to watch it like 2 days ago, and at the very end when Yondu and he's talking about, you know what I mean? He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy, all that. Like I can't take any more L's on Guardians of the Galaxy. Kudos
I
to
have to take a
James.
big one because hear me out. Hear me out. This is not a spoiler. Rocket's story is one of the saddest stories in Marvel Comics. And so you're about to get a backdrop of Rocket in this. Like it's gonna pluck your heartstrings. And with the way that this is set up, all of their contracts have ended. I think the only one whose contract really is not in question is Mantis. So I feel like we're about to get like they're gonna die. Kang about to show up and murder all them folk. They're gonna survive whatever's going on, and then Kang gonna come through and be like, by the way, die.
I can't take that, man.
They all got to
It's all right.
especially the way Zoe Saldana's been talking real spicy about how she's not happy with Marvel. They killing her off rip.
Man, she can kick rocks though. She's always been some Tommy.
I loved her up until the whole Nina Simone thing. I can't support you anymore.
Told you, she'd be some Tommy. She got a little bit of Avatar money. She didn't know how to act no more. All right, so we're done. We're calling it a wrap. It was very fun going through these with you. And so what we'll probably put our stuff up on Facebook and also maybe on Instagram and see if people agree with us. See, and then for you guys that are in the comments or that are still here watching or watching it afterwards, tell us where you guys place them. Do you guys think that some of these things should have been more meh? Is there something that should have been trash that we maybe thought that was a goat? So do that. Let us know so that we can be able to talk about it in the comments below. And until next time. I want you to be like the Hulk or She-Hulk in this matter. Smash the follow and the like button. and then we're gonna be like the Ninja Turtles and get the shell out of here. So until then, y'all be easy.
If you trash my goat, you better defend your points.
She said what she said.